You can explore things based on how they relate to time. Here you have a timeline of the biblical world that takes you from creation all the way to the New Testament. Very much like all the other interfaces Glo has, it's zoomable, so you can zoom in and zoom out. If you are interested in one period in particular, like the New Testament, just click on it, and it takes you to the New Testament. Here you can see the early church and the life of Jesus. Click on the life of Jesus if you are interested in Jesus' ministry. If you are interested in the final year of Jesus' ministry, like the feeding of the 5,000, you click here. And again you see everything that relates to the feeding of the 5,000. You get the different scriptures that relate to this passage, plus articles, photos, and artwork. Everything that Glo has in terms of resources that relate to it. So it is another way of exploring all this content in the product in terms of how it relates to time, looking for it not based on the Bible passage, but based on the biblical event over a timeline. Another very powerful way of looking for content is the topical lens, which the makers of Glo believe is the most important of all of them. This lens is what makes this product relevant for the digital generation who is mostly disconnected from the traditional Bible. The topical lens is what relates the Bible back to their lives. In a number of focus groups, researchers identified that even people who are nominal Christians, who for the most part are not in the habit of engaging Scripture regularly, still have reverence for the Bible and do believe the Bible has answers to their life challenges. But the problem is that they have no idea how to find those answers. So that's one of the reasons that we have life as the centerpiece of our topical network. When you click on life, you are going to see subcategories: your personal life, your life with God, and your relationships. Another very important one is 911 Life in Crisis. It includes some very controversial and difficult subjects. But many times, that's the kind of scripture that is going to help based on where you're at in life. Let me show you an example of how this works. If you choose relationships, one subcategory is marriage. Here you have lots of different topics regarding marriage. You have all the Bible passages and some expert articles that can help you deal with that topic. Let's assume you're about to get married, so you're interested in everything the Bible has to say about it. Now you select all this and send it to one of the lenses with this navigation tool that pops up. For instance, you can send it all to the Bible lens. When you do that, you are going to be able to see all the scriptures that relate to marriage in the Bible. From here you can go, for example, to the book of Proverbs and see the scriptures in Proverbs that relate to marriage. Or you may want to go to the book of Ephesians, where it talks about love and marriage. When you click, you will see that all the passages that relate to marriage are highlighted, so it makes it very easy to read. And remember, you can always remove filters to see all of them. So it really makes it very easy for you to find what you want when you need it. That's one of the major things that people identified as being one of the frustrations they have with the paper Bible. They know the answers they need are in there, they just have no idea how to find them. Glo also has a lot of media that helps you experience the biblical world and scripture. The media section highlights all the media elements that Glo houses, such as more than 2,000 high-resolution images, more than 100 expert videos and static maps, and more than 500 virtual reality tours. The virtual reality tours really offer the user a very immersive experience of the biblical world. See, for instance, this one that shows Mount Sinai and the Israelite camp and the tabernacle in Mount Sinai. It dives into Mount Sinai and shows you the tabernacle in the center. The tabernacle is such a fascinating piece of scripture in the book of Exodus, but it is really difficult to understand what it describes. Here you can actually experience what the book of Exodus talks about and see the different elements of the tabernacle. Go to the Holy of Holies, explore it, and learn visually in a very different way what the tabernacle is about. Now I'd like to also give you an example of how you can use Glo in a Bible study type of situation. Let's assume that what you're interested in is finding every passage that was spoken by Jesus in the book of John, not in the entire Bible. But maybe it's even more specific than that. Maybe just the words spoken in the city of Jerusalem during Passion Week. Or take it a step further, the words that were spoken by Jesus in the book of John during the Passion Week in the city of Jerusalem. It's very hard to think about how you would do that in a normal Bible, let alone an electronic Bible. With Glo, it's easy. I'll show you. Start with the topical lens, and the only thing that you need to select under Jesus in the topical Bible is the words of Jesus. You can send it to the biblical lens to see all the words of Jesus in the Bible. So now all the words of Jesus are displayed in the Bible, and you see them in the book of Revelation, Acts, and the Gospels. But what you're interested in is just John. So I'm selecting just John, and now I'm going to select just what was spoken in Jerusalem. I send it to the Atlas lens, and now I see just the words of Jesus from the book of John reorganized as how they relate to the geography of the Holy Land. Here is Jerusalem. So I can very easily zoom in just a little bit so I can select just Jerusalem. I select Jerusalem, and now I'll send this to the chronological lens because I want to select just the Passion Week. So right now what I have the words of Jesus. I selected just the words of Jesus in John. Now I'm selecting just the words of Jesus in John, spoken in Jerusalem, and I'm setting it to the timeline. Now I want to select just the words of Jesus in John, in Jerusalem, and in the Passion Week. So Glo distributes those chapters in the specific area of the timeline that relates to the life of Jesus. Here is the Passion Week. So I select this area and say, show me the results in the media lens. This media grid is always how you see the results in Glo. Click here and there you see it. In this particular case, 8 passages of scripture that were spoken by Jesus in the Gospel of John in the city of Jerusalem during the Passion Week. If you want to read them, just click and you are taken to the Bible. It instantly positions not only where the words are in the area of that chapter, but highlights the words so you can quickly see where they are. This is one example of something that with Glo you can do with relative ease visually and in a very intuitive way. It would be almost impossible for you to do that kind of research quickly with a paper Bible, or even for that matter with a regular Bible study software that only allows you to search. Because what you have here is not a search function. See here, a lot of these passages don't even have the word Jerusalem in the text, but they were tagged with Jerusalem because they happened there. So finding the content isn't based on what's known as string searches, but it's based on tagging of the verses and this browsing that we are doing here visually. It's all semantic and not based on string searches that limit the kind of research you're able to do.